Hey, family, what's going on? Kyle Henderson, Bama Football on YouTube, following Oklahoma defeating Auburn by a score of 24-17. Let me ask you a question inside the comment box. Do you feel that Oklahoma is for real? Yes or no inside the comment box. What I mean by for real is a team that can play for the SEC title game, a team that can make the playoffs, a team that can the Final Four, I don't know, the championship. I mean, maybe that's a tall task, but I think in terms of a team that is much better than they were last year is certainly Oklahoma. And John Mateer leads the Sooners past Auburn by a score of 24-17. He had a really good game. John Mateer, I think, is the quarterback we thought he would be. Very capable, and he has a lot of weapons. And I think when you look to the Sooners defense, they had 10 quarterback sacks today, 10, including one that was the end of the game, which turned out to be a safety. So Oklahoma, I think, is certainly a team on the rise, and John Mateer is definitely that guy. Look, I want to say something about Auburn. The Auburn Tigers, let me ask you this, another question inside the comment box. Are the Auburn Tigers a better team this year than last year? I would say yes. Jackson Arnold is a very talented athlete. Clearly, we remember what he did to Alabama last year. If he was a little bit more accurate, I think that Cam Coleman probably has 3 touchdowns today. Now, that was kind of the one thing that I did see against Oklahoma is they are susceptible to the deep ball. It was just that Jackson Arnold couldn't find Cam Coleman, and, that took definitely points off the board. But Auburn is a good football team. They're better than they were last year. It's not a terrible loss, but I think you're going to see more cannibalization in the SEC. But I think overall Auburn is a better team this year compared to last year. I wanted to hit on a couple other points in college football today, and I want to kind of go over the scoreboard a little bit from earlier today. And I'll start with Florida State. Look, this team, Florida State, this is a good football team. Try to find their score real quick. But, they scored 66 points today, right? I don't know what their score is. But Tommy Castellanos, that was kind of one of the bigger questions is this guy, was he hurt? I think he got injured at some point in the game. He's going to be fine. They said they saw him walking around, and he's going to be fine. So that's kind of the update on Tommy Castellanos. Do you feel that Florida State is a top 5 team in the country? They beat Kent State. They beat Bama. They beat East Texas. I mean, they beat Bama. The team has speed. The team has good defense. I kind of look to the October 4th meeting when they will play Miami. That could tell us how good this team is. But when you look to their schedule, Florida State's going to win a lot of games. I don't know how many they're going to lose, but Florida State looks to be for real. I want to talk about Clemson. Now, Clemson, they're cooked. They're out of the college football playoffs. And I told you this at the beginning of the season. There was no way that I felt that Clemson was going to be like a title contender. There was a lot of people that had them in the playoffs. National analysts had them there. I just didn't see it. I don't buy a lot from the ACC, as you know. I clearly do have respect right now for Miami, Georgia Tech, and Florida State, but I knew that Clemson wasn't going to be all that people were making them out to be. And now they are 1-3. Does Dabo Swinney get fired? Is he on the hot seat? No. I think that he could be a lifer at Clemson. Who are they going to get? And where's he going to go? He could go other places, but I think the one thing that I'd like to point out about Dabo Swinney is, I think he's a good football coach for sure. But when Brent Venables left, I think Clemson started to go the opposite way. Brent Venables, I felt, never got the notoriety that he should have as a defensive coordinator. Now he's at Oklahoma, and how far can he take the Sooners? I don't know. But without Brent Venables, I think that Clemson is kind of a mid-team. I do. And right now, 1-3, I was surprised. I was surprised that they did lose to Syracuse 100%. I thought that maybe that would be a rebound game for them, but now 1-3. How many more games are these guys going to lose? Really disappointing season for Clemson right now. It'll be interesting to hear his post-game press conference. Remember, he said, he was like, "Look, if they're tired of winning, maybe they should get rid of me." I guess maybe they are tired of winning. Oklahoma State, kind of talking about coaches that might be under the hot seat. Here's one that might be, and that's Mike Gundy. 3-9, right? They lost to Tulsa, and that was on Friday night. They were 3-9 last year, and they're 1-2 this year. I don't know what's going on at Oklahoma State. I don't really follow them that close, but to me, that's a program that should be winning more games. That is a game where you dominate Tulsa. And if you look to Oregon, what they did to Oklahoma State, that was absolutely embarrassing at the beginning of the year. So I don't know. Do you feel that Gundy is on the hot seat? Do you think that they'll be able to take care of his buyout? I think it's what was it, like $15 million? I think they'll be able to take care of that. Wanted to also talk about Bill Belichick and what's going on at North Carolina. This North Carolina experiment is not it. It's weird. It's awkward to follow. North Carolina is a team that clearly is struggling. How long do you think that Bill Belichick will continue to be at North Carolina? I don't know how much longer that experiment can go. Sound off inside the comment box. Do you think he'll be coaching in the NFL after this season or just done? I wanted to also mention, see if I could find it, but man, I had to give some props to a former Alabama player that I think has been doing pretty well, and that is Michigan's Justice Haynes. Now, Michigan, as you saw, defeated Nebraska, and man, Justice Haynes is that guy. I think that he's the running back that we thought he could be here at Bama. Now, you could argue, well, he has a better offensive line over there right now, and maybe that's the case. But Justice Haynes looks damn good, and I can't help but be happy for him. Now, hate to see him do it, with another team, but I think when you look to the transfer portal and like guys who got away, I think there's two guys that have been impactful that Alabama lost, and one is clearly Caleb Downs, and the other is Justice Haynes. So Justice Haynes doing his thing for Michigan. The Wolverines are able to defeat Nebraska by a score of 30-27. That was a pretty good game. Tonight, I'm watching this Miami and Florida game. I'll also be checking out like Missouri and South Carolina. I would imagine I'm going to pick South Carolina, and I'm going to pick Miami. I think with Lenore Sellers back in the lineup, that's a good football team, but I guess we'll have to see. They've definitely been underwhelming. This was a team that I felt would be much better than they were, but, the loss to Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt's good, right? They're playing Georgia State tonight, but I'm going to take South Carolina. And then Miami. I'm always tough on Miami, but right now I think Miami, they have a squad. They're favored by 8 against Florida. Florida has a lot to play for. Billy Napier coaching for his job and all that, but I'm going to take Miami tonight. And then, of course, Texas taking on Sam Houston. I guess a game we're watching to see if Arch Manning can get it going. I don't know. But I appreciate you guys. Thanks for kicking it with me in the open week. I'll be back later on live, kind of with the evening dip to talk about, college football as news happens. But thanks for being here. Thanks for kicking it with me. And as always, hit the thumbs up on these videos, and I'll catch you as news happens right here on Bama Football on YouTube. See ya.